Welcome back to the pregame show here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. It is time for the Broadcasters Roundtable. Dave Peck alongside Newport Gulls field reporter Aram Layton and the voice of the Ocean State Waves, Jonah Karp. Aram, as always, we will start with you. 6-4 loss. It's been a tough stretch. We've talked about it time and time again. There were 3 home runs in the ballgame for Newport. They're third in the NECBL. It just doesn't seem to be going at the right time.
Well, of course. I mean, 3 home runs, usually you think you're going to win a ball game, but when you hit 3 home runs and you only score 4 runs, you got to look at what the issue is. And the issue is you strike out 15 times. You're not driving guys in. You're not manufacturing runs. You can't lean on the long ball when you're striking out that many times. And it's hard to win a ball game if you have 15 strikeouts.
Newport still with only 13 stolen bases on the season. They went up against a Swamp Bat team who had 84. That is first in the NECBL. And early on, they really took advantage of that. Does Newport have to change just because of the way their average has gone down?
Well, I think there's a reason why they haven't stolen much, because they don't have too much speed on this team. But it goes back to my previous point of manufacturing runs. You can't lean on the long ball, and if you're striking out at the rate you're striking out, they got to figure out a way to score more runs, whether it's stealing bases, bunting guys over, playing small ball. Something's got to change because they're not keeping up with the runs that these other teams are putting up. They've
been able to stay in ball game. It's just been 1 inning usually in each of the last couple of games. Sanford had that 6-run inning, and then Keene had a 4-run inning late in yesterday's game. What do they have to do to try and limit those?
It really just comes down to executing pitches. I think every single game somebody seems to be on, and then one guy comes in and he doesn't seem to have it, and it's battling through that. Sometimes you don't have your best stuff. You still got to execute pitches, and you can't let the big inning happen. I don't know if it's going to be a shorter leash from Coach Coombs on some of his guys and not letting them get into too bad of situations now that every game matters a little bit more as we get towards the end of the season. Whether it's a shorter leash or just guys learning how to battle out there when they don't have their best stuff, something's got to give.
All right, Jonah, we'll toss it over to you. Ocean State now with the first-ranked offense in the league, batting .296 as a team. They should be confident, rightfully so, coming in here after that 17-1 win on Monday night.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that was her best performance of the season as a whole. A couple guys didn't tally hits, but overall, the team as a total tallied 19 hits in the game, which is unprecedented, unbelievable. Since then, I mean, they've had a couple of good offensive performances. Only scored 3 runs last night, but that was a victory. So they're coming off a win, looking to build some momentum up.
Finding different ways to win. You mentioned just 3 runs. They scored 17 against Newport. What has been the key, maybe mindset-wise, at the plate?
Well, it's getting on base. I mean, the average is up there. It's the best in the NECBL. The on-base percentage is up there with the best of the NECBL. They like to steal bases, tops in the Southern Division in stolen bases. I know that's not the mindset of Newport, but they're really polar opposites in that respect. Ocean State doesn't have a lot of power. They're second to last in the Southern Division in home runs this season, so they need to manufacture those runs by playing small ball, and that's exactly what this team does.
Ocean State is in the 3rd spot in the Southern Division standings, the last playoff spot, 3 games up on Newport, and they could be 4 after tonight. How big is it to come in here and try and get a win?
Oh, my God, it's huge. I mean, Ocean State already has 3 wins against Newport on the season. If they win tonight, I mean, they take the series victory, which is huge against an in-state rival, not just a Southern Division rival.
Just 15 games left in this 2018 NECBL season with the playoff heating up here in the Southern Division. For Jonah Karp and Aram Layton, I'm Dave Peck. Game 5 of the Pellbridge Series is coming up next, right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.